Hello and welcome back as we continue to read the book of Esther. So today we're going to jump into chapter 3, and we kind of had some amazing information in the last chapter. First of all, we know that Hadassah, who is Esther, she kept the name Esther to kind of hide her identity as a Jewish woman. And we know that Mordecai had overheard some secret information about two people plotting to kill the king. He revealed it to Esther, and Esther had it revealed and recorded in the book of Annals, which is important to find out a little bit later. So let's jump into chapter 3, and we will read about Haman, okay, who's also an important key character here. Haman's plot to destroy the Jews. After these events, King Xerxes honored Haman, son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. Agagite, there it is. Elevating him and giving him a seat of honor higher than any of the other nobles. All the royal officials at the king's gate knelt down and paid honor to Haman, for the king had commanded this concerning him. But Mordecai would not kneel down or pay him honor. Then the royal officials at the king's gate asked Mordecai, "Why do you disobey the king's command?" Day after day they spoke to him, but he refused to comply. Therefore they told Haman about it to see whether Mordecai's behavior would be tolerated, for he had not told them he was a Jew. When Haman saw that Mordecai would not kneel down or pay honor to him, he was enraged. An important part of this, okay? I think it's important to understand why Mordecai wouldn't kneel down. Mordecai understood that there was one true God, and that's who he would kneel to. So he did not want to put anybody above his God. He would honor his king, but anyone else was not really considered, as honorable in his eyes. All right. Yet having learned who Mordecai's people were, he scorned the idea of killing only Mordecai. So we're talking about Haman at this point. Instead, Haman looked for a way to destroy all Mordecai's people, the Jews, throughout the whole kingdom of Xerxes. So it wasn't enough for him to punish Mordecai for not kneeling down to him. He wanted to punish all of the people who were related to Mordecai. In the 12th year of King Xerxes, in the first month, the month of Nisan, they cast the pure, that is the lot, in the presence of Haman to select a day and month. And the lot fell on the 12th month, the month of Adar. Then Haman said to King Xerxes, "There is a certain people dispersed and scattered among the people in the provinces of your kingdom, whose customs are different than those of all the other people. And they do not obey the king's laws. It is not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. If it pleases the king, let a decree be issued to destroy them all. And I will put 10,000 talents of silver into the royal treasury for the men who carry out this business." Yikes. That's kind of intense, isn't it? So the king took his signet ring from his finger and gave it to Haman, the Agagite, the enemy of the Jews. "Keep the money," the king said to Haman, "and do with the people as you please." Then on the 13th day of the first month, the royal secretaries were summoned, who wrote out the script of each province in the language of each people, all Haman's orders to the kings, their governors, and the various provinces, and the nobles of the various people. These were written in the name of King Xerxes himself and sealed with his own ring, because the king gave the ring to Haman to seal these things. Dispatches were sent by couriers to all the king's provinces with the order to destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews, young and old, women and children, on a single day, the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, and to plunder their goods. A copy of the text of the edict was to be issued as law in every province and made known to the people of every nationality, so they would be ready for that day. Spurred by the king's command, the couriers went out, and an edict was issued in the citadel of Susa. The king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city of Susa was bewildered. So the city didn't understand. It was just an edict that said they were going to kill all the Jews, but there was no reasoning. Everyone was just kind of like, what is happening? So we can see that Haman has poor intentions, and he's kind of a crafty guy. He figured out a way to really annihilate this one guy and his entire heritage, all of his ancestors from those 127 provinces, kind of by just putting a bug in the king's ear and taking advantage of it. So this guy, he's really bad news. He has no good intentions other than to serve himself. Well, God is good still, and we'll see how the rest of this unfolds in the next chapters. But keep this in mind. God sees everything and knows everything. Even when we don't think he's moving, he is. Let's think about what God might be doing in your life even now that maybe you're unaware of. All right. I look forward to reading the next chapter with you. Have a beautiful and blessed day.